All right, you guys, Mr. Medellin here again, Mr. M. And this time we're going to be covering Cesium Iodide and Gadolinium Oxysulfide and light spread. So we were talking about scintillators in a previous video with direct and indirect conversion. And we're talking about in indirect conversion, you have scintillators. And we have scintillators in all kinds of different forms of radiographic procedures that we do. We have it in X-ray, we have it in fluoro, and we have it in CR systems as well, where cesium iodide is used. So I'm going to go over the difference between cesium iodide and gadolinium oxysulfide and how it both produces light, but the impact of the light that is produced and the efficiency of the materials that are being used. All right, so cesium iodide, right, it's abbreviated CSI, right? And then on this side, just put gadolinium oxysulfide. Alright, so it's GD2O2S, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Okay, so gadolinium oxysulfide and cesium iodide. So believe it or not, gadolinium oxysulfide is kind of an older material, and the way that the crystals are, the phosphors, they're bumpy, and it's what's called turbid. Alright, so they look like this. They're all rough and bumpy crystals. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna draw it a little bit lower for a reason here. So it's called turbid, rough, bumpy. So these are the gadolinium oxysulfide crystals. Over here, cesium iodide, the way that it grows in like needle formation like this. Okay, so when X-ray energy were to strike it, let's make X-ray energy blue, right? Let's make it like a purplish color. When X-ray energy strikes the gadolinium oxysulfide, because it's all rough and bumpy, where do you think the light's gonna go? It's gonna go all over the place, right? So we're gonna draw the light here like this, and the light is gonna go all over. Some of the light's gonna go down, and some of the light's gonna go off to the side. So this is called light spread, okay? So light spread is talking about where the light is traveling towards, right? So here, you're gonna have more light spread. So do you remember we were talking about our detectors, right? If we had a TFT, right, and we were talking about, let's say, a photodiode material such as amorphous silicon, the amorphous silicon here is not going to record all the light because some of it's being lost, correct? So what do you think happens to the efficiency of the system? It goes down, right? So with more light spread, so I'm going to write this down. So more light spread, you're going to have less recorded signal, less recorded X-ray signal. And if you have less recorded signal, you're losing some of the information that is going through the object, correct? So what do you think it's going to do to SNR? You're going to have a lower SNR. You're going to have a lower what's called detective quantum efficiency. It's going to go down. You're going to have a lower MTF, modulation transfer. That's going to go down. You're losing some of the trueness of the signal, right? And it's going to go ahead and decrease spatial resolution. All right, so this is where all this comes into play. So it has a negative impact on spatial resolution. Now at the time, if that's all you had, that's what you used, right? But now with cesium iodide, let's go back to here. Once the X-ray energy hit the cesium iodide, because it grows in a needle-like formation, that light is going to be coming downward. You see that? So now because it comes downward, it's going to hit, let's use amorphous silicon again. If it hits the amorphous silicon, now you're going to have more light signal that's going to go to the TFT, right? So, or the CCD or whatever you're using, right, as a detector. So here with cesium iodide, you're going to have less light spread. So this is what they're talking about in terms of light spread and how these different materials are either going to have an increase of light spread or a decrease in light spread. So if you have a decrease in light spread, you're going to end up with more recorded signal. And if you have more recorded signal, guess what? It's going to have the opposite effect. Your SNR is going to go up. You're going to have a higher detective quantum efficiency. You're going to have a higher MTF. And you're going to have an increase of spatial resolution. I'll just put SP res. So the materials itself are going to have an impact on spatial resolution. Now again, you have no control over what's being used, right? But we're just teaching you exactly what's happening when these different materials are being used. So again, there's not a lot of materials in regards to the reading when it comes to light spread, but I wanted to make sure you guys understand what exactly is happening and how it affects spatial resolution, okay? All right, thank you guys.